Incredible greetings, everyone. All right, I just have to set this up over here, make sure everything is like a-okay with the live feed. All right, we're going to make this public so that it can be shared by all. And then we're going to go and share it to share it to groups. Oh God. Oh Jesus. Okay. All right. Okay, so let's go ahead. Oh, I forgot to put at everyone with that one, but that's okay. Let's go more options, share to a group. Hello, 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 everyone. Ooh, it is pouring down rain, and hopefully I don't lose power because it is pouring. It's raining. It's pouring. The old man is snoring. He bumped his head and went to bed. And couldn't get up in the morning. That song is so weird. Like, he couldn't get up in the morning. Like, you know what that song implies. Just because he bumped his head. Like, that's so crazy. The songs that we sing, especially when we're younger, and just don't even think about it and just sing it just to sing it. Don't really pay attention to the lyrics. Just kind of like the tempo. All right. Okay, there we go. So let me get the TikTok feed started. Oh, wait, you know what? I need to send myself an image. One moment. Because if I don't, then I'm not going to be able to open that on my TikTok feed. So just give me one moment. I think it's this one. Nope, it's not that one. Okay, wait. All right, I have it up there for you all, so it should be up here. Let's go add picture. And then we're going to go to our files. Bear with me, guys. Neon green. There we go. All right. Okay. So just bear with me. I have to send this to myself because I want you guys to see the color of this and how it comes out. All right, let me screenshot that just in case the saved file does not work. Okay. There we go. And let's go live over yonder. All right, there we go. Uh-oh, let's see. Let's fix you guys over here. My camera is all out of whack right now. Okay, there we go. All right, So, hello, everyone. Incredible greetings. Change that camera. All right. Yay, glad you caught me live. Hello, incredible greetings. Thank you guys for jumping on. Hola. I'm gonna pull this over here real quick because I don't want to change the microphone setting. So, incredible greetings. Welcome in, everyone. Welcome. Who all here sublimates or is interested in sublimation? Okay, we need rain. Oh wow, where are you located? Who all here does sublimation or interested in sublimation? Have you heard about horror stories about color? Which printer do you have? Do you experience issues with certain colors with your sublimation? Let me know. Okay. So hello, she says, I do. You do sublimation. Do you experience any issues with your colors? Oh, and if so, which printer do you use? Hello. Welcome in everybody over on TikTok. All right. Welcome in. How y'all doing? Okay, so I'm gonna show my face real quick because the way the camera is, I can't really do it because I want it to be on the heat press. We're gonna talk about sublimation today, okay? I am Shakia, the professor of HSINK365. We are the home of the Honestly Speaking brand of products. We carry sublimation paper, sublimation ink, okay? And I also teach about sublimation. So we're going to talk a little bit about our products, what you can do with sublimation. And one of the major things when it comes to sublimation is color. That's a big pain point for a lot of people, especially if you use an EcoTank printer. And you're actually, well, I would say if you're converting it. A lot of the printers that are made for sublimation, such as the Sawgrass, the Epson printers, and things of that nature, you don't really have as many issues when it comes to the colors. But when you are converting a printer, you are taking a printer that was not intended for sublimation and you are making it into a sublimation printer. We often experience issues with color because there's real, like, it's just not made for it, right? So I'll always kind of show this as an example when it comes to the yellow ink because I think you can see it the easiest with this. This is the ink that comes comes in EcoTank printers. Okay, this is the ink. As you can see, the yellow, it looks like, food color. It looks kind of orange. If I were to hold this up, you look at the top, it looks orange. However, if you do a nozzle check with this, you print it out, it will print out yellow, right? So this is the ink that EcoTanks are designed to process. However, sublimation ink is made like this. Big difference. So the way those print heads work, it's almost impossible to get accurate colors from a printer that is made to print out colors like this, and you're using ink like this. They're totally different. Can y'all see the difference in these two colors? Do you see the difference in this type of ink? Now, pigmented ink printers, which is like for Epson, all of their DuraBrite Ultra, that is what's called pigment ink. This is what that looks like. It is a different consistency. Although all of these are liquid, there's a slight difference in consistency between the dye-based ink, can be a little bit thinner than the pigmented ink. Pigmented ink is made with toner powder. So there is kind of like toner powder in there. So it's made to be the density of it's a little bit higher than the dye-based ink. So because it's meant to use, well, this is what sublimation ink looks like. It works better with printers that print pigmented ink. So a lot of the workforces, the EcoTank 16600, 16650 are going to work best with these types of, when it comes to sublimation inks. This is what your EcoTank uses. I used to have an EcoTank. It doesn't work anymore. I really have no desire to get that one fixed because I don't really use it. I just try and use some of the old images that I had to show the differences when using EcoTank printers, or if I see someone that has a like posted a print of something, I'll show that. So one of the things that I saw today in a group, this is printed on with our Honestly Speaking sublimation paper. So it's printed using plain paper setting. You don't have to use a lot of ink when it comes to this. So I happened to see this particular image posted in a group. So I'm going to show, oh, you know what? I don't know if I'm able to do that when you're on TikTok Shop. Ooh, hold on. You can do backgrounds. Perfect. Okay, so here is, so I know it's probably hard to see. I'm going to show you guys as well. So here is the image that I saw, right? So the actual print was like the design, should I say, you can see for you guys, you can see it kind of in the corner. It was a bright green. But then how it printed out, it looked really, really dark as far as that green. And I don't know, I don't think it's going to let me move it over, guys, for you to see how the tumbler came out. Let me see if I can, move that picture or something like that. I don't know if it's going to let me move the picture. Oh, that's one thing that sucks about this background. Yeah, you guys might not be able to see over here. You may not be able to see the actual picture and how it came out, but it is almost impossible to get lime green colors when it comes to sublimation, because of how sublimation works. When you heat it up, it turns into a gas that affects it, and then the printer that you are using. So you guys over here, you're able to see it. I am going to take this and I'm going to press it to some sublimation fabric, to some polyester fabric. Yes, that was done on a tumbler, but I'm going to show it onto fabric. You should always keep scrap fabric. Now, this is 100% polyester, which you need polyester when it comes to sublimation. You need polyester, okay? You have to have your garment has, or your fabric has to have polyester, has to be sub-grade. So it can be anywhere from 100. I personally, hi Dwayne, you need some shirts. Okay. I personally don't go below, like, for quality shirts, I don't like to go past 85% when I really, really want those colors to pop. Can you use 65%? Yes, you can. However, it does affect the colors. Some people say you can go down to 50%. Technically, you can use a shirt that has 40% polyester in it. It's just going to look very, very washed out. You want to use a high polyester percentage fabric. So just for the sake of this, I'm going to use this as scrap fabric. I have all sorts of scrap fabric. Sometimes I use this. I use rags, all sorts of things. So I'm going to take this and I'm going to press it. I'm going to open this up actually. And I'm going to press it to, what do I do with them scissors? Oh, press it to this fabric. I'm using Honestly Speaking sublimation paper, which is our brand of paper. If you guys don't know, when it comes to sublimation, most people are taught to use 400 degrees for 60 seconds. However, with our brand of sublimation paper, you are able to get your work done more efficiently. We sublimate at 365 degrees as fast as 30 seconds. It doesn't matter. Now, don't get intimidated by the fact that I have this nice little fancy Hotronix heat press. I've done it with easy presses, Cricut easy presses, and it's still the same. 365 degrees, 30 seconds. Now, if your heat press may not get right to 365, 365 is that really good middle ground for 30 seconds. If your heat press kind of varies in temperature or you don't have even pressure, you may need to press it for about 40, 45 seconds. Or if your temperature is off, take that up to about 370 degrees, but gone are the days of needing to use 400 degrees. Okay. So I'm going to take this and we're going to sublimate it. Now, the top of our paper does not require a cover sheet. So that's going to allow you to save money because you won't have to use as much butcher paper. We just purchased a new roll of butcher paper the other day. Even went to Sam's last week. Was it last week? Tuesday, Wednesday. So it lasted us almost a year. I'll show you the size of it. Literally only one little piece has been taken off of this. Oh my God, this is heavy. But this is the butcher paper that you would get from like, well, you didn't get it from places. I can't sit on here because I'm on TikTok Shop. But this is the butcher paper that you would get. And you need that to protect your heat press, especially from things going through this way. On top, our paper does not bleed through. So you're able to just put it down and you're going to close your heat press and you don't have to worry about spending money on that extra piece, especially if it's something like just doing a test print, or if I'm doing coasters or MDF, if I'm doing shirts. This is sublimation to glitter HTV, things like that. I do not need a cover sheet, so I'm able to save. Now, if I'm doing a regular shirt, I do a process where I put butcher paper back on top and I press it to get the lines out. But just for especially things like this, it's not required for you to put anything on the top. So that's going to save you time. It's going to save you money and not cut into your profits. Okay. Because all those little things add up. So I'm just going to close this. 365, 30 seconds. 365, 30 seconds. Gone are the days of needing 400 degrees for 60 seconds. And also using premium presentation paper matte, which puts down a lot of ink. That puts down a lot of ink. I printed these with plain paper, bright white, set to high. So less ink, it prints out a whole lot faster. So we're increasing production time, increasing efficiency with just the print. And then we're eliminating the need for a lot of times heat tape, butcher paper. So you are saving so much. She says, I love your paper. All right. So look at the difference. Oh, I wish y'all can see over here how that tumbler came out. But their printer was an EcoTank printer. So even though it's not like a super neon green, it's not a dark green. So y'all see how that comes out? Now I'm going to put back on the screen. Give me a second over here on TikTok. I'm going to try and shrink down that picture for you guys so that you can see how her tumbler came out. Give me just 1 second. Okay, so let me now go background. Let's put this on here. Okay, there we go. Can y'all see how dark that green is, right? You see how dark that is over there. Oh, wait, let me put it up here for you. Woo! Let me put it up for you guys over here. All right, now it said show. Okay, there we go. So you see the way the print should have been. Then you see how her print came out, how the tumbler came out. That's from an EcoTank printer. How that tumbler came out is from an EcoTank printer. So it's going to be really, really hard from an EcoTank printer to get those neon type colors. Which is why you guys hear me recommend either workforce printers, or if you're going to get an EcoTank, it costs a little bit more. It costs a little bit more. Oh, wait, y'all still can't hear me over on TikTok? Can y'all hear me? Let me know if you can hear me over here. For the ET 16600, 16650, it costs a little bit more, but you can see it's a much better result because that ink is formulated to match the ink that it looks like. Okay, this is what EcoTank printers use. Pigment ink printers, or like where it's like a workforce, or the artisan, or the Epson EcoTank 16600, 16650, They use this type of ink. And this is what our sublimation ink looks like. Okay. So you saw the differences in how that comes out. And this is the result. This is what ink that is left when you're using our paper. 30 seconds, 365 degrees. That's all it takes with Honestly Speaking paper. Okay. So once again, I'm going to show this. It may not be that super neon green, which I'm going to talk about that as well once I turn off the shop over here. But this is the result of our paper and our ink with like inside of a pigment ink printer. It's going to be really hard to get these results with a EcoTank printer. But everyone always asks why I don't recommend EcoTank printers. It's not my go-to to recommend your standard EcoTank printers outside of the 1600 series. This is why, because of how the colors come out. Okay. All right. So the next thing that we're going to look at when it comes to colors is going to be we're going to look at settings. Okay. We're going to look at settings. So on here, this is a redo of a print that I did before, utilizing different settings. People always ask, is there a difference between all of the different settings? Adobe RGB 1.8, 2.2, ICM, automatic. All right. So I'm going to kind of bring it to the camera so you guys can see up close and personal that there is a difference in each one of these settings. There is a difference. I'm going to go ahead and pen the paper right now. Even though it's not like the ink, it's the print. I'm going to pen the paper right now. So give me a second over here. Okay. Give me a second. So you can see this is Adobe RGB Gamma 1.8 using Honestly Speaking sublimation paper. And I always tell people the differences between these two settings is how dark colors come out. If you are looking for something to be dark, especially your blacks, Adobe RGB Gamma 2.2 definitely helps with making those darker colors a little bit more richer, okay? But when you have softer colors and you want it to be soft, you don't want to use 2.2. All right, can you guys see the differences between 1.8 and 2.2, especially when you look at that blue bear? All right, look at the purple here. Just because it looks darker, this is a very detrimental misconception that just because it looks darker or brighter on your paper, you're going to get a better result. Everything is not meant to be overly saturated. It's not meant to be dark. Some things are meant to be softer colors. So you are going to have to adjust your settings. There is no one perfect setting when it comes to sublimation. So many people are looking for this process to be a one and done. I just want to use one setting. You're not going to be able to use one setting. It doesn't matter which paper you're using. You're not going to be able to use one setting. People will talk about profiles and they have this profile. But if they're still using and they're saying like ICM and things like that, look at the difference in ICM and 2.2, or this one here, 1.8, or even automatic. They're all different. There are times when if I'm doing, let's say, a photograph, especially if it's something that has like black and white or like gray tones, I like to use ICM. Well, really a lot of if it's more of a photo than it is graphics, I like to use ICM because it doesn't put down as much magenta. These settings right here, Adobe, they put down a lot of magenta. Magenta becomes very aggressive with these settings right here. Automatic, it just really depends on how it's made. If you're designing in softwares like Silhouette Studio, Canva, or Cricut Design Space, this doesn't really work out well because of the color profiles and the way that those are kind of set up. But if you design in like Photoshop, Illustrator, Affinity, Corel Draw, those that have the different settings, like you can actually set it for different settings, it tends to work a little bit. You can somewhat use like the automatic, but not always. Okay. You are so right when you say testing is a must and you test what you recommend. Exactly. I test everything. So I'm going to show you guys over here. Give me 1 second on this side. Don't go anywhere, guys. I just have to mute it temporarily because of 1 second. All right. So over here, you guys can see the settings. This is 1.8. This is 2.2. So 1.8, 2.2. I'm going to hold this up right here so that they don't ding me. All right. So that's 2.2. This is ICM. And it looks much lighter. And then this is automatic. So they're different. All right, so I'm back over here. How do you get the lines out of the paper? It's all about your print settings. So right now, if you guys check the cart or depending on if it's a cart or it might show up as a little shopping bag. If you guys click on that, it is going to take you to, honestly speaking, sublimation paper. So getting those lines out. Oh, you know what? I had a PTA meeting today and I completely forgot about it. Oh, well, it'll be all right. So utilizing that paper, the settings that I use, I don't get lines. Now, I don't know if you are referring to banding lines or if you're referring to the little dots, the little pinwheel lines. This paper will also help with that. If you are having pinwheel issues, this paper will help because you are able to use a lower setting. You're able to use a lower setting. Now, make sure that you guys look. I don't know if they have one. Let me see. I don't know if I have to set it, but a lot of people, when they come on here, TikTok offers you discount codes. I don't know how to add it. If you can find the discount code, you can go there. I mean, you can use that over here and you'll normally save like 50%. I'm not sure if it's your first order on TikTok shop in general or just our TikTok shop where you get that discount, but you can use that. Hold on 1 second. If you're watching over on YouTube or Facebook, because the Dolphins won, you can use Fins, P-H-I-N-S. But as soon as you go to the site, you'll see it. Fins win, and you can get 23% off of your 8.5 by 14, 8.5 by 11. And the price is the price on our website is already lower than TikTok. So take advantage of that. All right. Sorry about that, guys. Okay. So this will help. So if you can let me know what type of lines you're referring to, that would be great. Awesome paper. How much paper comes in all of our papers are 100 sheets. So 120 GSM, 100 sheets. Oops. Wait a minute now. So if you're shopping over on TikTok, make sure that you are taking advantage of either the free shipping or any discount codes that they are offering or any coupons that they are offering. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and press this. Once again, I am using scrap fabric. I like anything. I mean, I have shirts. If I mess up a shirt, I don't get rid of it. I use that sucker to do test prints, okay? I use it to do test prints. So don't get too upset when you have shirts that are not ideal. All of this now becomes usable surface space to be able to do test prints. Like I'm always putting them everywhere. And if it gets to a point to where I can't cover it up, I'll cut those out. I mean, look, I'm even using the sleeves. I will cut that out. But if you have a shirt and it wasn't the most ideal print, don't fret. This now becomes a great tester. Even if you are someone that has a tumbler press and you only use a tumbler press because you're doing tumblers, it is still a great way to test your prints. Just take your fabric, wrap it around a tumbler, and then, so of course you won't have shirts, but go get you some scrap fabric. Wrap it. So put the fabric on your tumbler, then put the print, and then put it in your tumbler press, and you can do test prints as well. All right. Don't use your tumblers and mugs for your test prints. All right. So this was just a sash. I make sashes for homecoming, bridal showers, baby showers. What else I've used these for? Senior night for cheerleaders. This is a great money maker, really, really good profit margin because these sashes really, really inexpensive And it's great to get a full color design with Sublimation. There's so much money that can be made with Sublimation. You guys make sure that you like and follow me. I give a lot of tips here, as well as on my full teaching platforms on how to make money with Sublimation, or just save yourself money. If you are a DIY type mom or grandma or auntie or uncle or granddad, and you just like to make gifts or do things to kind of help your loved ones, save money, Sublimation is great for that. So I'm going to go the long way. So the paper on the bottom is just in case part of my design was not all the way on the piece of fabric and I needed to catch it. It will not go all the way through because we're using such a low temp and we're not pressing it for so long. You don't get that where it kind of bleeds all the way through. With certain fabrics, it has to be a quality fabric. This one happens to be a quality fabric where it's not going to bleed all the way through anyway. But I keep the paper there just in case ink is exposed to my bottom platen. So again, 365 degrees. I know y'all probably can't see that there. We're going to tilt that. 365, 30 seconds. I'm going to go ahead and close that. Now, while that's going, I'm going to put a picture up for you guys because I want you to see how these come out. So let me go over here. Let's go background, picture, and there. Dang it. Man, over here on TikTok, y'all really can't see like the full look of it. I didn't realize that was going to happen. All right, so I'm going to take that off because y'all are not going to be able to see it anyway. All right, so remove that. So the way our paper works, you guys probably can't see it, but right now, I'm going to grab, I'm going to take this, what's this, bookmark, right? I'm going to pull this out. I'm going to slide this under. I didn't move my paper. That's one of the best properties about our paper, where it helps eliminate those ghostings. So a lot of the times when you lift up your heat press, especially if you have an auto press, the paper will shift and it will move. So what our paper does is it domes. So it's going to lift up off of your paper or your substrate, your shirt, regardless. And you're not going to get that like continual gassing off that can cause that shifting. We do sell tacky paper on our website. In our shop as well. Shoot, dang it. I think I'm probably gonna get dinged. But we do sell the tacky paper, which will stick to your fabric. But our paper will minimize ghosting because it does this doming. So you guys see here where I just took this and I slid it under. I'm gonna try and get it to turn around and like without moving it so that you can see that it domed out. Oh, crapola. All right, not sure. You see, I can see the print. So it has a little dome there. That is one of the key features of our paper, what makes it so great compared to other papers. Now, how you'll get ghosting, if you hesitate while you're putting your heat press down, or if your platen moves, as soon as heat hits the back of this, baby, we going. Hello, 30 seconds is what it takes. So as soon as the heat hits the back of it, it's going, it's going. So if you move or it shifts, then guess what? You can get ghosting. But if you're confident and you go straight down, once you come up, even if it pops, because it domes, it's going to minimize your ghosting. What also minimizes the ghosting is there's not all of this ink left on the paper. This is what's left. There's nothing left to ghost. All right. We have a high release on our paper and it stays sharp. Let me tell you what's a good sign of good sublimation paper. How to tell good sublimation paper. When you press it, if you use one of those other brands like A-Sub and some of those, when you press it, if you see the line start to blur out versus staying really, really sharp, that's how you get nice, crisp colors, is when it stays like your paper doesn't have this like blur on it. It stays just as it was. The only difference is the color is removed. How many of you guys use a sub and you press it and you look at it and the edges of your design has blurred out? It's like a blowout of it. Okay, let me see. I don't know how. Let me see if I can do it real quick for the different codes, like the different discounts. But that's normally something from TikTok where they offer the free shipping. Okay, well, that's a good. I'm not going to not say that that's not a great brand, but definitely consider trying ours. I've worked with them a few years ago. I used to promote that particular brand, but we now have our own. So I'm never going to say that it's not, great, but we do have properties that are not like some of the others. 365 degrees, 30 seconds. You can use plain paper setting. You're going to get very, 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 very gorgeous colors with using our paper. So definitely try it out, okay? Someone says they have their free shipping on their end. All right, let me see real quick. I'm going to try to see if... Oh, okay. I think I have to do it from, so you have to kind of get it from TikTok because I didn't do it. So I'm new. This is my third time doing the TikTok live. So because I didn't set up a voucher, I think you have to get the ones from TikTok. Because I know someone, when they first came on, like they got the 11 by 17 for $16 because TikTok offered them a 50% off coupon. So I have to probably set that. So someone says, yeah, it's directly from TikTok shop. So you have to get those codes. The shopping cart at the bottom of this live is that, yes, that's the TikTok shop, the shopping cart at the bottom. Okay, I just said yesterday I wanted to try it. I'll order some tonight. Awesome. Thank you so much, Raquel. All right, so let me show you guys over here. So if you look at that top line, right? So you see automatic, ICM, Epson Vivid, Adobe RGB, and then the no adjustment. So I'm going to show you guys. This is the results over here. Now on this, we have a green that looks more lime greenish. So remember, this we were looking for lime green. This we actually got. More of the lime green. I'm going to show you guys in a moment over here. Don't worry. All right, so I'm going to take this off. So here we wanted lime green or like a neon type green, but we didn't quite get that. Most people will think that you can't get those colors at all. As I stated, it depends on where it was designed and the color code that was used. Because if we now look at these Care Bears, we have that neon or lime green look. So you guys see that? You are able to achieve those colors. We have something that is kind of like a bright magenta color, kind of like a hot pink type color. You are able to achieve these colors. However, the color code has to be correct. This is the difference in like these, when it has this little bubble thing, these were designed in AI, right? These were designed in AI programs, and it doesn't really have the right color management. Whereas this one being designed by professional graphic designers in programs like Photoshop, and it has the right color management, you are able to get those colors. And the way it looks on screen is what you're going to get here. This looked super, super neon, super bright, but it's subbed this way because that was more of a play on how they designed it, the color profiles that they used, and then the color code that they use. A couple different things affect that. So a lot of people think that it's their paper, it's their ink. So it's not your paper or just your ink that's going to affect your colors. The way it's designed, the software, the location it's designed in, the app it's designed in will affect your colors. This is what you guys get. When you go and you follow us, you get our products. We give you full-on education to make sure that you are getting the best results and you're not wasting this good paper, this good ink that's actually priced more cost effectively than most of them on the market. You get more bang for your buck. Our ink is 140 milliliters. On average, EcoTank printers, for those who sell for EcoTanks, they sell the 70 milliliter. We sell 140. So you normally get these in 100 or 70. We sell the 140 or 128 when it comes to the EcoTank sets for the blacks. Ours is 140. So this comes out to about, depending on with, like, how you get it, if it's individual or with the set, you're going to end up paying anywhere from 10 point something cents to like 12 cents per milliliter. Okay. All right. So I want you guys to again see the colors on here. Now, I'm often asked, is there a difference? Yes, the inks are on the TikTok shop. Let me go ahead and pin that for you. We have the 4 colors: cyan, magenta, yellow, and black. Okay. Oh, I forgot to grab it. We also carry gray. If you have the 6 color printer, the 8550, what you will not hear me mention is photo black. You won't hear me mention photo black. You won't see photo black in our TikTok shop or on our site. The reason why, remember when I talked about inks, right? All of the EcoTanks use dye-based inks. Remember I said that, right? Dye-based inks. And then you have printers that use pigment ink. Photo black is not a color. Photo black is a type of ink. Instead of it just saying black, where it would be a dye-based ink, it is a pigmented ink. Photo black means pigmented ink. Now, some companies, their black ink looks brown. It looks like a rust brown. If you notice with our ink, what color is that? What color is this? Oh, wait, y'all can't see it over there. It's not that rusty looking like brownish color. So when they have that photo black, they normally have the black ink that is kind of that brownish color, and then their photo black is the black ink. So it will help it. But all of ours are this color, which is why we don't get a lot of browning with our ink. Those certain ones like that, like the ones that are brown in the bottle, if you over sublimate, it really, like it, not even burning it. If you over sublimate, it turns brown. Ours doesn't. Our ink actually, so it has a little bit of, like, over time, and once it's exposed to light, it'll have a slight brown tint to it. But for the most part, we have a different underbase color. So we don't get those brownish looks. When you do gray, even with an EcoTank printer, you don't get brown when you do like shadows or grays. It will come out more of like a bluish purplish because dye-based inks use this type of ink. So you're not going to be able to get full-on grays unless you use the right color code. But you don't get those brownish results when it comes to our ink. Our ink is absolutely phenomenal. It is now in the shop. So when you get the 6 set, you're going to get 2 blacks and you're going to get a gray. So you're going to have CMY, double black, and you're going to get the gray. Okay. I never knew that. Thank you. I know most people don't know that. Let's see. Why do certain inks look brown? Asking for someone that inks looks brown. It's just so what a lot of people don't know about our brand is I help formulate ours. So I do a lot of testing, a lot of testing. So when we got inks from overseas and manufacturers overseas, we looked at them, we saw that, it's like brown. And what made me realize that there was a difference is when Epson came out with the F570, and that ink looks black in the bottle. It has more of a blue undertone. So I asked about that, and I kind of did a little experiment and did some mixing, and we came up with our formula. Just the old type of ink was basically brown, and no one thought to challenge status quo. It's like, we're just going to go with what everyone else uses. Not me. I'm a scientist. So we worked on a formula with our manufacturer. This is now what most of them sell. Once we came up with this, it sucks because you really can't fight that when it comes to them folks overseas. But this is what you will see from companies now at like advertised and sold as photo black. We've had that from the beginning because I formulated this. I did mixing and I told them we had several batches sent to us. And then when that 8550 came out and you have this, if you're somebody with an 8550 printer and you got photo black from someone, you'll see the difference in the color. But I helped formulate our ink. I mixed it and figured out the right ratio. And you showed the good, the bad, and the wonderful. Thank you. Being the fact of which paper you're using, I know which ink you're using, so you don't have to say the name. Let's see. I'm going to order your paper and ink, but I'm asking if the ink will be good for the 15,000. Oh, shoot, almost messed that up. So if you have the 8550, did you just put the black? Yes. So this one right here is 140 milliliters. You're going to take this and you're going to pour it in your black reservoir. You're going to put the rest of it in your photo black. So you're going to end up with an extra one because this is 140 milliliters. It will fill both of those up with one bottle, and then you'll have the extra one. And in all the other reservoirs, you'll just use these twice. You know, that you get 2 full refills with these, and then you'll have the other refill with your other black ink. So yes, you can use these with the 15,000. Technically, any sublimation ink can be used with any printer. What's going to be different is the color output. Some will say that there is no difference. For the most part, there is no difference. I will say that there is a slight difference in color. Very, very slight difference in color. But there are TikTok's being stingy with the coupons. Okay. You can 23%. Hold on. Hold on. I got to figure out the right way to do this. Oh, here we go. So here are the results utilizing our ink and paper. No, so this is using copy paper. So I do tests, and this is using copy paper, okay? If you use copy paper, this is what happens. However, if you use sublimation ink, sublimation paper. Oh, wait, where did the one with sublimation paper go? It's probably wrapped up over here somewhere. Is this the one? No, that's the 90s. It might be this one. Oh my gosh. Okay, there we go. So some people will tell you that you can use copy paper, and I'm not going to lie and say that you can't. It will transfer. However, it will not be the same results. You will not get the same results using copy paper versus using a quality sublimation paper, okay? So the colors end up more saturated. This is, honestly speaking, sublimation paper. Look at the yellow, look at the pink on there, look at the black section and this grayish section down here and how the colors change. And then we also have these like little specks on it, whereas you don't have that here, okay? So you don't have that on here, okay? But you can get other coupons if you can't find it on TikTok shop. So here's the differences in that copy paper one and, honestly speaking, sublimation paper. Okay, so am I going to be a little biased and say yes? So the bias in me, of course, is going to say yes. However, the honest person in me, I'm also going to say yes, because with that particular brand, your colors are not going to be like this. I can tell you because I know firsthand, I know personally the way the yellow looks. It looks like a mustard, almost greenish type yellow. Here, it's going to be fairly close to this yellow. Of course, it's going to be a little bit different, but it doesn't have that greenish or dark mustard tone. Our black ink is also not brown. You're going to get better results. If you do nothing else, on TikTok, we only have the sets, all right? But there is a way to purchase just the black ink, okay? If nothing else, I recommend getting our black ink and mixing it with the ink that you have. You're going to see a dramatic difference. You're going to see a difference if you mix ours. Try and put at least 50%. Not actually, I mean, you probably do a little bit less than that. But if you do half and half, it's going to make your blacks so much better. Now, the other colors, you may not see necessarily like a major improvement like when you're doing black, because it's mixing colors. I recommend when you're trying to change to Honestly Speaking Sublimation ink that you let your tank get down as low as possible to that little triangle. Only put in a little bit at a time, and then let that get down to that triangle. After about 2 or 3 cycles of not filling it all the way back up, but maybe just filling it to that first line, letting it get down and then doing it, pretty much all of that old ink will be out, and then you'll have just this. Some inks are the same and you can just simply mix them. The one thing I do not recommend, even if you are using Honestly Speaking Sublimation ink, I do not recommend that you mix inks, whether it is just simply topping it off. Not the same exact bottles. So let's say you ran out of this bottle and you need to get another one, even though it says Honestly Speaking. Be very careful with doing that in the middle of an order. If you feel like your ink is not going to make it, whoa, we only got 800 likes. Come on, y'all. Y'all can double tap that screen. If you feel like it's not going to be enough ink for your order, mix it in before you start that order. Mix it in before you start that order. Do not do an order where you are, the order is split between an old ink and a new ink, a new bottle of ink and an old ink, okay? Thank you, Kimberly. Oh, wait, you know what, Kimberly? You know what? We have to, hold on. Uh-oh, cancel. Oh, you can do guests on here. I didn't know you can do guests on here. While you're on TikTok Live, you can do that. Oh, wow. Because I have a guest when I click on your name. So I put you on there so that you can do that for me. And thank you for that. But yes, what Kimberly said. Let's see. Okay. I see you guys over there. Give me a second. I'm going to come to my computer and check that out. So I just need to make sure that for display purposes, you guys can see the ink. You can see the paper. Just give me one moment, okay? All right, so the questions I have over here. Let's see. There is a notable difference. I'm sick. My Sam's Club doesn't carry it anymore. I need to know where to get that butcher paper. So yeah, I get mine from Sam's Club. I'm doing a tumbler with your color chart using HS ink paper. Awesome. That's not my design. I just pulled it from a group. Drop the knowledge. Hello. Thank you for joining. What is ICM? It's a setting. Which if you go through my settings video, you kind of somewhat see it, but it's just a setting that's on your print settings when you install your drivers. What about the ink? Yes. Oh, no. For that one, no, it's only for paper. Love your video. Thank you. Incredible greetings, incredible greetings. That is like toning rust tones out of blonde hair as well. Blue tones, genius. Exactly. And you also, like, when you're mixing fondant and they want to get black, they'll mix purple in it or blue tones in it to actually make it black and not just kind of keep adding those in. So I keep telling y'all, I like science. I like mixing colors. So that's where that came from. All right. Oh, wait. No, stop. Okay. So I want to pull this picture back up for you guys because I really want you to look at the automatic, look at the ICM, look at Epson Vivid. Well, I didn't use Epson Vivid. Look at Adobe RGB. This is the original image, okay? This is the original image. This is using a different brand of products. This is using a different brand of products. I want you to take note of certain colors, especially those magentas and blues. All right, y'all saw that? I'm going to come over here again, and I'm going to show those same, wait, where did it go? Oh, I'm going to show those same colors. Let me show this for you guys. Let me see what's pinned. We have our ink pinned. All right, so there we go. So I'm going to come over here, background. We're going to go, oh my gosh, I didn't bring the original picture over here. Plain paper. Let me see. I got to try and get y'all to where I can screenshot it and you can see it better. Give me 1 second. Okay, so let me do like this. Okay, and I'm going to take this screenshot here and go like that. And then we're going to move this over. And I'm going to screenshot that. So hopefully when I do this, you guys will be able to see the picture better. Okay, so hopefully you'll be able to see these colors better. Okay. So if you see that there, all right, pay attention to that color. You guys already saw it. And now I'm going to take that off. Adobe RGB Gamma 1.8. You see how different those colors are. There's no filter. So I made sure when I'm doing these, I want you guys to see the full color. So I'm going to just make sure that I have taken it off. Hold on. Make sure that there's no filter. Okay, none there. Exit out. Enhance. Filters, none. There's no filter. So for someone that asks, is it better than whatever brand you asked about? That, I'm going to show it again. Okay. Background. I'm going to go here and I'm going to show. So even with that one is automatic. Okay. That's that one. This is, so you can see, and you can somewhat see the ICM. This is Adobe RGB. All right. Now with theirs, Premium Matte is the other one. So Premium Matte, look at Premium Matte, look at plain paper. That's a different brand of paper. Someone mentioned it already. That's a different brand of ink. You guys also mentioned that brand of ink. This is both, honestly speaking, sublimation paper and ink on plain paper setting. Do you see a difference? Do you see the difference? There's absolutely no filter. No filter. So I'm not saying it just to toot my own horn. However, you asked, and here is the proof. That blue is blue. like almost like the bright blue. Whereas with the other one, it was a different shade. It was a different tone. So the way the inks are formulated, people always say that it does not matter. It doesn't matter what ink it is, they're all the same. As you can see, there is a slight difference in tone. Difference from it being blue to almost looking almost teal like. Okay? There is a difference. There is a difference. So for all those that say that there's no major difference, it doesn't matter what ink you use. Yes, they will all sublimate, but depending on the printer you are using, it's going to affect your colors. And then the paper that you are using is going to affect the vibrancy and the saturation of it. If you're looking for these types of results, go ahead and click on that shopping cart at the bottom of your screen. It's pinned. So there is the paper. The paper is now pinned. We also have heat tape. With our heat tape, we carry 1/2 inch, 1 inch, 2 inch, 3 inch, 4, and 6. Yes, they all serve a purpose. Trust me, they all serve a purpose. If you don't have any thicker tape, you definitely want to get at least the 2 inch. You will see when you're doing thicker things like NDF, if you're doing the thicker plastics, if you're doing ceramics, you would have to put all this paper around, all this tape around the edge. If you're using the small tape, you get our thick 2 inch tape and you're going to be able to use less tape. Okay. Even if you get our 1, you're going to be able to use less tape when you're using thicker substrates like this. All right. Any questions for me before we take off the shop? Any questions for me? Any questions for me? Last call for questions. They are 108 feet. No, 100 and don't have me telling the fib. Hold on 1 second. Is it 128? Hold on. Feet. It's in the description though. If you click on the shopping cart, I was right. 108 feet. I was right. 108 feet. I'll show them to you. Give me 1 second. Okay, so this is, and this is a brand new one. So that's how much tape is on there. So I personally use workforce printers. I have the old school printers, Epson 7720 and an Epson 7210. I'm not a big fan of EcoTank printers unless it is a 16600 or 16650. Now, I'm not going to knock any of the EcoTanks. They still will do the job because they are piezoelectric. You are able to, it's a heat-free printer, so you can put sublimation ink in there. I'm going to go ahead and pin the sublimation ink to the bottom. All right. So you can put sublimation ink in there. If you're doing things where color doesn't really matter, you know, and your customers they're not going to know if the color's a little bit off. This is fine. Like you can use the EcoTank printer. You're not looking for specific colors when you're doing stuff like this. But if you're doing something like sports teams, if you're doing something for someone's brand, or it needs to be a specific color, Greek organizations, and you're looking for a specific pink, a specific green, red, blue, yellow, that's the Divine Nine brown. The differences in that iota gold or like yellow type color, if you're looking for accurate colors, it's going to be really hard to get that from EcoTank printers unless it is a design where you can apply a specific color code. I recommend that you get the color chart. I wish I could put the color chart on here for you guys on TikTok Shop, but I can't because this is not a physical product. This is a digital download. So I'm not able to put this on TikTok Shop for you guys. But there are ways, reach out to us and we can let you know how to be able to get that one because it's a digital product. Hopefully TikTok Shop will incorporate digital products soon. But things like this. So I made it custom. They don't know like exactly which pink. They just thought it was great. So when you are doing things like this and it's not important now, these grays, now this one, you would have to put in a specific color code. But when you're talking about patterns like this that has gray tones and it's like a metallic look, with those eco tanks, those can come out either brown or they can come out bluish or purplish, depending on the ink that you are using. It's really hard to kind of get this to be right. You can get colors like this that you're filling the code in. You can get these to be accurate with an EcoTank printer as long as you are using color codes. But without color codes, it's going to be really, really hard. So anything where color is not important, eco tanks work well. Just the standard eco tanks. But if you want more color accuracy, if you want to be able to get not dark greens when it comes to neon colors like this, you will need a pigment ink printer. On the eco tank side, that is 16600 or 16650. Okay. How can I easily find your printer setting? Okay, yeah. Thank you, thank you, Kim. Yeah. Once I do that, then I'll be able to give you the information. So stick around, guys. So, click the shop. You can always click on our name and get to the shop at any time. But if you want more information about sublimation, you want good, accurate information, you want some tips and some strategies and things like that, it's going to help you in your sublimation journey. Don't leave, stick around. Even once the shop, the cart goes away or the products go away, stick around, ask your questions because I'll be able to answer those once I'm no longer on the shop. Okay. Let's see. I use an oven and cannot get my edges. It's killing me. Tina, I did a couple videos all last week, but I'll go over it again real quick, just as soon as I turn off that little sharpen card. Okay. So just give me a moment and I'll remove that. Now I see a question over here. Okay. So I've been listening to your video in lives and I have an 8550 and yet I have yet to open it after listening to you. I purchased it for large format options. It was on sale and less expensive than the 16600 a while back. Do you think the 16600 works better using your ink and paper? Yes, it does. Yes, it absolutely does. I really want to start, but don't want to get another printer. If you do any type of regular printing, if you do like cards or invitations, party favors, you want to do cutouts, things of that nature, the 8550 is great for that. It's an amazing photo printer. But if you want better color accuracy, so the paper will work, the ink will work in them, but for colors, the 16600 is going to be better. So I'm going to put this on the screen again for you so you can see. Let me hide that. So this is the way that file was designed. It's going to be almost impossible to, especially if it's AI generated, it's going to be almost impossible to get those accurate colors. All right. So for everybody that's here, remember to go to the TikTok shop. You can go right to our bio, go to the second icon, the little shopping bag, and you can always get to the shop if you're not able to make a purchase while you're on this live. You can always go to the shop. I'm going to turn it off right now so that I can go ahead and drop some education about sublimation, okay? All right, so let me put this on the screen real quick so you guys can see. All right. That is the image. It was done via AI. That can be deceiving, especially with sublimation and especially with EcoTank printers, because those printers cannot reach that color gamut. Now, if it was still a dye-based printer and it had the original Epson ink in it, you could reach that color because it is a dye-based printer. But when you're talking about pigment ink, you're talking about sublimation ink. If you don't have fluorescent ink, it's going to be really hard to reach that particular color gamut. Okay. It's going to be really, really hard. Now, if you pay attention to next to it, that's the way the print look. It already looks really dark. You'll have to play it back. Those of you guys on YouTube and Facebook, you'll have to play it back because I don't have another print of it, but I showed the print and it looks totally different even when you print it out from a workforce or pigment ink type printer. Then next to that, you can see the print and you can see how dark that print is. So I'm going to change this picture for you guys because you won't be able to see it there. All right, so you see how that green looks. Let me move my shoulder. That to the, you see the print, and then on the other side is a finished tumbler, a tumbler that has been heated. So I'm going to turn that off. I'm going to turn this off for you guys. Okay. This is the results that I got with our ink, where it's not that dark color. It is actually, now over here, it looks a little weird. Over here, y'all see it slightly different. It's still not going to give me neon green because we cannot reach that color gamut a lot of the times, depending on how it was designed. I show in this one that that lime green or that lighter green is possible as long as you have the right color code and it was designed properly. This was not designed in a software that has proper color management. So it's not going to be that super bright neon. You're getting that look because of the computer, the backlighting on it. It will look really, really bright. But pigment ink and sublimation printers, it is really, really hard to get to that color gamut, that color range, without a software where you can there is color controls or color management. So it's possible to get greenish colors, but with this one, nothing I could have done. I mean, I probably could have played around with adjusting the saturation, adjusting colors, but it would still never be that like neon type green. And this is where scrap fabric comes into play. So if you only do tumblers or drinkware and all you have is a tumbler press or a mug press, you can still do testing and not waste a tumbler. What you want to get is a tumbler, preferably one that's not actually sublimation well, then you'll probably mix it up. But you just want to get a tumbler, a blank tumbler, maybe even mark it on the bottom. This is my test tumbler because sometimes the ink can go through depending on which fabric you use. So you just want to get a piece of fabric. You can cut it up, put your piece of fabric, right? Put your print on top of that. Of course, we won't have this whole thing. Tape it down. If you have a paper that bleeds, put your butcher paper on it, put it in your tumbler press and sub it. So it's going to transfer to the fabric. That allows you to test colors without wasting a tumbler. If that's a great tip for you, go ahead and put TPTM. TPTM, the professor taught me. If you like that tip, TPTM. If you only have an oven, well, if you have an oven, you can't really do it. You really need a press, some sort of press. But if you only have a tumbler press, then just take a piece of fabric, take a little, don't do a full tumbler. Do little pieces, little sections like I did here when I'm testing out colors. Little sections. Put it on there, tape it down, put it in your tumbler press, and you are able to test your colors. Okay. What a great idea, TPTM. You are very welcome. Thank you for commenting. All right, let me see over here. All right, we got some TPTMs. So glad that tip works for you, helps you guys. So Photoshop for color management of neon colors is better than Silhouette Business Edition. So yes and no. Like you really do still have to test it, but because of how you can select the colors, when you go into your color selector, you have more control over the exact color you're using. So it will be a little bit better over there versus Slow Studio. Now, if you are using a color code that you have sublimated and you know that exact code, it doesn't matter which software you are designing in. Do you like the Epson Sublimation printer? I have never used one, but we have several customers that use them and they get amazing results. And I've seen it used at one of the local places here, but we don't have one. But yes, they are true sublimation printers. So of course you can do nothing but get great results. The F170 is the small format printer. So you can only do 8.5 inches wide, which we do carry 8.5 by 11, 8.5 by 14. All Epson printers allow you to print up to 47 inches long. All Epson printers allow you to print up to 47 inches long. Okay. So that means you can use 8.5 by 11. You can use 8.5 by 14. You can also use sublimation paper rolls. Right now, we are sold out, but there is a pre-sale. We're trying to hit our minimum, our MOQ. MOQ is a minimum order quantity. We're trying to reach that number now with the pre-sale. Okay, so if we don't reach that number, we're just going to refund everyone that pre-ordered, and we probably won't carry these for a while. But this is the 8.5-inch roll. You can go and cut this sheet up to 47 inches long. So you can do any sizes in between that. You're doing stoles, if you're doing rags, towels, blankets, and piece together less sheets. So you can do 47. So it doesn't matter if it's 8.5 by 11, 8.5 by 14, or if you go to the site and get the pre-order. We can't offer that on TikTok Shop until we get them in. We are going to match the order. So we're waiting to get to that minimum quantity and to where we can match it and it'll actually meet the minimum quantity to order from overseas. We do have a deadline because they go on holiday soon. So if we don't get it in, we won't have it by the end of the year. So make sure that you guys go to the site and look at the pre-order and pre-order your rolls. We have them in fast dry and tacky. So this is the 8.5-inch. We have it in 13 as well as 24-inch as well. The 24-inch comes with two 100-foot rolls. The 13 and the 8.5 comes with one 328 feet. So it's you get a lot of use out of it. We now have fast dry and tacky. I'm trying to nurse my last tacky roll from you. I know we're trying to get them ordered, but we need more people. Once we get it ordered, they're going to come really fast, but we need for you guys to go in there and pre-order your rolls. Y'all better get in on that pre-sale. I need the 24-inch ones. Yeah, we're trying to get that back. We're trying to get them ordered, but we have to meet the pre-sale numbers. Because last time they moved kind of slow and we had a lot of inventory and they moved kind of slow. We're sitting on inventory. We want to make sure that we do have the audience for it before we go ordering those again. If I was going to get an 8.5-inch printer, yes. If you were going to get an 8.5-inch printer, I definitely recommend the F170. Can you just press the test fabric as if, yes. So that was only for those, because there's a lot of people who only do tumblers or they only do drinkware. So they don't have a flat press at all. I recommend if you're doing sublimation to at least try and get an easy press. But if you don't have a flat press, that is an option. But for these that I just pressed, I did those with this heat press. Let me print out something else and I'll let you guys see it. I'll let you see me press it, print out that test print here. All right, so let me just print something out and I'll show you can use any heat press. Let's see. So when you talk about color codes and you're talking about, when you talk about color codes, you're talking, yes, I'm talking about the hex codes. Not quite. It's like a lot of people keep asking me when the rolls are going to restock. It's like they want to wait for the restock to order it, but we can't restock it until we meet the MOQ for the rolls. Let me go over here to Silhouette Studio. I'm going to print. What size paper do I have in the printer over here? I think it's 11 by 17. If not, I can definitely do the 8.5 by 11. But I think it's 11 by 17 that I have over here. So we're going to do this one. Let's do here. This is something that I love to use for colors. Copy, paste. I'm going to show y'all one of my favorite things. This is something I teach in my sublimation seminar. And I absolutely love using this for like testing colors. Ooh, this is another good one. Let me bring the Mario over here. Copy, paste. We're going to press this Mario. We're going to press these right here. And then let me grab the Care Bears again. As well as this neon green so that you guys can see that when it prints out. All right, so I got a couple of them here for you guys. We're going to print these out. File, print, and let me find my 70-10, 7210. Preferences, 11 by 17. And okay, and print. All right, so let me get that off of the printer. It's not going to take long to print at all using the plain paper setting. All right, I got to get over here to the printer though. Oh, Jesus. Oh, have mercy on my soul. All right. Oh, that wasn't 11 by 17. This is 13 by 19 over here. Jesus, that's okay. I'm still throw it in here. It's still gonna print. It's just gonna print to the edges. Well, I mean to the middle. All right, no, and then print. All right, so we're gonna let that print. Ooh, I have this print that's messed up. I'm gonna show you guys some gray tones. So while we're waiting for that to print, I can show you guys an example of another one. All right, let's move all of this out of the way. All right, let's turn this back on real quick. All right. One of the things that I do want to show you guys with this bookmark, this is a sublimation bookmark. Look at that black. Plain paper setting is what I use for this. So with our ink, because of the way our black is formulated, that's the result that we get on that. Look at the yellows. Yellow was a big color for me as well. Printing out like the Bahamian flag, that's what I kind of used when it came to making sure we had the right yellow. So look at that plain paper setting on this bookmark, this sublimation bookmark. This side was white, this side is silver, but this side was white. This is the result of our paper and ink, 365 degrees, 30 seconds. Oh, wait, you know what? Y'all never told me. Everything is backwards, isn't it? Is everything backwards for you guys? Or are you reading it the right way? Is this the right way for you? Or was the other way the right way? Which one is it? Which one? This way is the right way? Okay, perfect. So this is our ink. That black is a friggin' amazing. This is our ink on Glitter HTV. All right, so while I'm waiting for that one, this was a messed up print. It cut off. So I'm just going to cut a piece of this and I'll show you guys doing a test print. So if you have something like this, you want to see how your blacks, your grays and stuff, how they're going to come out, use small pieces. Don't waste a whole sheet. All right, even this is technically too much, but I don't really need this anymore, so I'm going to use it. So this is where this paper is going to come in handy at, because there's all this extra design to this. So I'm just going to put this in the middle, and the bottom paper is going to catch that extra ink. So that's the only place we're going to need cover paper, butcher paper, that's parchment paper. So butcher paper, parchment paper, that's the only place. People will tell you that you can't use parchment paper. It's going to, what did it say? Is it retain moisture? I don't know. It's something crazy. Baby, parchment paper is one of my best friends, okay? So we're going to go ahead. 365 degrees, 30 seconds. Actually, I have too much pressure. When I do the next one, I'll show you that I can drop the pressure. So right now it's saying 1. Normally, I'm like at a 0 right before it turns 1. All you need is even pressure to where it's not going to like move. You don't need heavy pressure. You just need even pressure when it comes to sublimation. So that 11x17 print is just about done. All right, so it's going to start to dome. So it's doming here. That's one of the things that's great about our paper, where it's going to prevent that ghosting. So we're going to take that off. Now, darker colors, of course, they're not going to come out as much as lighter colors, but that's the difference. And you can see the original ink and then here. And this is why we use something on the bottom to catch that, especially when you're doing full bleeds. So this is how you would test it to see if the colors are going to be accurate. Now, this is what I was saying, whereas this file right here I got from P&G Tree. My colors that I put in are more grayish, like that. You can barely even see that. Now, for some reason over here, I think my LED lights above is making this look weird, but you can barely see that because it is gray. Now, this part here is supposed to be gray, but how they did it, and with ours, it comes out almost like purplish, but it won't be brown. So this is kind of an example where, and it also depends on the fabric, because I'm going to show the other one, it doesn't come out as purplish, but that black is definitely black, and that's plain paper setting. And that's the way the black came out on this fabric. Now let me grab this one. This is only 80, I want to say it's 82% polyester. The rest is polyamide. And this is how it comes out there. 82% polyester. The rest is polyamide. It is textured. You have the rays of the I call it, the pile. So it's a little bit different. It's not flat. It's not shiny like that one. So this is how that's going to come out. I think I have the full-on picture of that full set. Let me find that for you so you can see the differences. There we go. So you see, it actually is gray. You see it on the tumbler. It really is gray. So that's the tumbler, the rag, and the shirt. And you can tell that the tones are different on the shirt as well. Spandex does not count as polyester, but spandex is a synthetic fiber that will take sublimation ink. Sublimation, a lot of people just teach polyester. The truth of it is it binds to synthetic fibers, man-made fibers. That's what spandex is, nylon. It just depends on how it's woven together on whether or not it can withstand a high amount of heat. But with our paper, 365, so you're dropping that heat anyway. It opens you up to being able to do a wide variety of blanks without melting them. But spandex is a synthetic fiber that you can sublimate. All right. So this is printed out on on-to-speaking sublimation paper. All right. So this is a 13 by 19 print. I set it for 11 by 17, but I didn't have 11 by 17 over there open. So what I printed this on was I'm going to pin the paper now. So this is the 13 by 19 paper if you have a wide format printer. All right. So this is perfect because you're now going to be able to see the print compared to the final subbed piece. Big difference in color. So those who are new to sublimation, interested in sublimation, don't freak out when this happens. It's not going to print out. Now, some things are not going to print out the right color, and it's never going to be the right color because it just can't be the right color. But there are going to be times where it's going to look kind of funky, okay? It's going to look kind of funky, but this is how it will sub. Let me just cut that piece off. It's going to make it easier to hold in my hand because right now it is quite difficult. Now, where did my scissors go? To know me is to know that to know me and love me is to know that I lose everything in like 3.65 seconds, okay? I know that's not a real number. Those who know, get it. Those who don't, it's going to sound weird to you for me to say 3.65 seconds. All right. So, print versus the final sub. Now, I'm going to show once again from an EcoTank printer how it's going to look. That is how it looks from an EcoTank printer. Even just looking at the print itself, you can see the big difference in a workforce or pigment ink based printer and your results. So that's the print. That's the way the tumbler looks. Or the final press. This is how this looks. Big difference from that EcoTank printer. Those colors are going to naturally be darker. No way around that, okay? Let's see. Okay. I purchased the ET 2400 and just purchased your ink, but I'm worried about the printer because it doesn't have a front screen. So it's not going to be a problem. It's just that you have to learn the buttons that's on the top and what those indicate and like how to change the setting. I'm not sure what happens when it comes, like if you have a paper mismatch, what happens. I've never seen that printer, I've never used the one that doesn't have a front screen. It will still work as far as printing. It's just going to be any alerts and, not sure how you would do print head cleaning or whatnot. So that's the only thing when it comes to the 2400 because it doesn't have a screen. Can I print the color codes like you have on a tumbler on the felt squares? I believe you talked about. Yes, you can. You can print it to fabric. I have it on fabric. I have it on glitter cardstock. I have literally anything that I print to, I have my color charts on. DTF, Eco Solvent. I print color charts out for everything. Okay, let's see. Do you have any spandex to demo on? No, I don't have any spandex to demo on. Especially scissors. Exactly. I lose my scissors like all the time. If you have her paper, the settings are printed on the packaging. I don't believe she provided the settings for other manufacturers. Yes, I don't. So yes, our paper, you get the settings right on the cover sheet. So I'm gonna, where's that thing at? So here we go. So where it says settings, they are right there on the packaging. I think the only thing that's not on here is the density, which you just go into extended settings and set it to like anywhere from -5 to -15, depending on what print setting you're using. But all of our settings are on here. All right, let's see. Okay, so we saw this one already, right? I wanted to print out so you guys could see. All right, let's move this out of the way. Excuse me. Move out of the way. Who knows my favorite movie and what that quote comes from? Y'all know I can quote that entire movie. The density, someone asked, what is the density for? It is the amount of ink that is put down on the paper. Some papers cannot take a lot of ink. That is how you get like consistent pinwheels, and that the ink builds up faster the higher the density if you're using a high ink setting. All right. All right, I'm going to have to put a little piece over this because it's going to be under my press. All right, what did I cut out? We're going to do Mario. And then I'm going to get a fresh piece and I'm going to do my Skittles. I'm about to give you guys a free tip that many have paid for in my sublimation seminar. I'm about to give you a bomb tip, especially if you got an EcoTank printer and you want to know if your ink is the problem or your printer is the problem. I'm about to give you a bomb tip, okay? So, no cover paper. I'm actually going to drop the pressure. Hold on, I want to test it first. So I like to go where it's at 0 and it's kind of fluctuating to 1. So it's telling me red, like it should be at 1. So I'm dropping that. Actually, I'll go up just a little bit. And we're going to put Mario and Luigi, not Mario, Yoshi on here. I don't want it to fall off. Okay. No cover paper required. Close that down. As long as my heat press doesn't move, I'm pulling on the handle, that is even pressure. That's all you really, oh, it went back up to 1. That's all you really need. 365 degrees, 30 seconds. Okay. Will that decrease sometimes when I see what sometimes we see on Subway? What? Will that decrease lines? So it depends on what those lines are. Pinwheels, yes, but you still have to clean your wheels. Banding, no. Banding is based off of your print settings. This printer actually needs to be clean. This printer actually has banding lines on it. It's not my best printer, this particular one. But look, see? It domed out again. I can put my finger underneath and lift it up. That helps with the ghosting. So look at the reds, look at the yellow, and then look at Yoshi. I know y'all can't see it. So those yellows are amazing. It's not like a yellow gold. So that's that. And there you guys go over there. Okay. Now, I'm about to give you guys a major tip. If you want to test the colors, I still recommend getting a color chart. However, if you would like to test the colors of your ink, whether you are using, honestly speaking, Sublimation ink or a different brand of ink, this is a tip no matter the brand. All right. If you are ready for that tip, go ahead and type in 365, and I need y'all to double tap the screen. Hairpin, do a power tap. Only need 400 more. Get us to 4,000. Type in 365 in the comments and power tap to get us to 3,000. I mean to 4,000. That should be quick. We should actually go way over that. Yeah, that one's gonna mess up. It's not enough. I mean, it's, oh no, I can probably do the bottom half of this shirt. So I love my heat press because I can thread it. And I don't have to worry about what's on the back. I'm just gonna have to cover up what's right here. Just got to cover that part up right there. Okay, so we are at 4,300. Okay, I see 365. I don't see enough 365. I don't see enough. So the first one that I was pressing to, this was just a sash. This is what I use for homecoming sashes, baby shower, like mom to be, bride to be. I use them for courts, queen courts, or I also did them for cheer for senior night. So this is the sash that I use whenever I'm making sashes. That's what this fabric is. It is a shiny polyester on one side, a matte polyester on the other. You can sublimate to both sides of it. This one is a Team 365 shirt. So this fabric is a Team 365 shirt. All right, I need to see some more 365s. There's too many of y'all watching for me not to see 365. She says, oh, it probably is. It was raining here, and it says that my connection is not stable. The video's glitching on YouTube. Yeah, there's nothing I can do. It's raining here. I wouldn't worry about the design without front screen. They used to have bulky fax copy, front window. We are Wi-Fi streamline now, so flat front. Yeah. So that was for you. Like, don't worry about the screen on the front. Let's see. Is it okay now? A little pixelated, but you can see. Yeah, it's telling me that my Wi-Fi is kind of funky right now. So here's the tip. Now, certain people have I've given this. My Sublimation seminar, they have access to this. But I recommend that you go online and you find a bunch of Skittles wrappers. This gives you a wide range of colors. There are so many different types of Skittle wrappers, and taste the rainbow, sub the rainbow. Okay, I'm going to probably make a post that says sub the rainbow. You want to get a bunch of these, print them out on your Honestly Speaking sublimation paper. Okay, so from yellows, those who have, so when you have issues with the reds and you don't know if it's your setting, if it's your ink, this is something where it has a good, like the proper color code. These were designed in professional design softwares, and this is going to be a great indicator of the output of your printer in general. So if you are having issues with reds looking orange, print and sub this. If you are getting red from this and not as much orange, that lets you know that it is that file and the color code that was used for that particular file, not your ink, not your paper, not your substrate, not your settings. If you get a red with this, now your gray, nothing gonna really help you when it comes to the EcoTank printers. You can print it out and see how good or bad it is, but especially for that red and like greens, find all of these or enroll in our seminar and you get this for free, and print these out and sub them. This will give you a better idea of how your printer outputs. Again, if you get red here and not orange, if you get the blue, which one is it? It's one of these on here where you get blue and not purple. That lets you know that the issue is the file, not your printer or paper. Okay, good tip, right? Let me get those hearts if you enjoyed that tip, if you feel like it's going to be helpful for you. If you plan to get your Skittle prints, go ahead and put sub the rainbow. Okay, go ahead, type in sub the rainbow if you plan to do this test with your printers. Oh my God, did she win? Hold on, y'all. Hold on. I think she won. I think they just made the announcement. Hold on. Oh my God. 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 Ah, she won! Woo! Oh my God. So if some of you guys saw the buttons that I made, it was for someone that was running for homecoming queen. So I made her button, some other stuff, and she won. Woohoo! All right. So sub the rainbow, sub the rainbow. That means you guys plan to do that as well. All right. So we're going to put these down. I'm going to cover this up. Pull this up just a little bit there. Very even pressure, not heavy pressure, just even pressure. Okay. 365 degrees, 30 seconds, utilizing Honestly Speaking, which I got to pull this out slowly because I knew it was going to pull the print. Honestly Speaking, sublimation paper. Honestly Speaking, sublimation ink. All right, we're going to go ahead and close that. Now, y'all got 30 seconds to ask questions. That's all it's going to take is 30 seconds. So 30 seconds to post your questions. go ahead and click on the shopping cart or shopping bag, depending on how it shows up for you. You're going to find the set of inks. The 6 ink set comes with 2 blacks and a gray if you have the 8550 printer. Oh, this was over that. I might have some issues right here with color because this was a heat barrier. When you put a heat barrier over it, you need to press it for a little bit longer because it's not getting direct heat. So that's another reason why our paper, you are able to use lower tint time, because you can press directly to it. That heat is hitting the back of it. Whenever you put butcher paper or parchment paper, that becomes a heat barrier and you're not getting direct heat. So you have to press it for longer times and higher temps, okay? Oh, I should have showed y'all this before. This was repressed again. I don't lose any quality on this. No quality was lost on this. Now, a little bit is on here, a little bit of ink, but I'm going to show it to you. It's still nice and vibrant. So what's left on here is this. This is the release of it. So you're getting that full release. I asked earlier, if you use a different brand of paper, look at your paper and see whenever you press it, does the image look exactly the same? Meaning everything is, the lines are crisp and it's just void of color, or do you see your image blur out a little bit? Especially if you use a sub, print it, and once you sub it, look at how that image looks. It will look blurred. It won't look very sharp. This stays as sharp as it was when it was printed. It does not blur out, okay? It doesn't blow out. It stays nice and sharp. It's not blurry when you're printing out from ours, okay? Whereas other brands, it will look blurry once you print it. So here, I'm going to show. You can see that there's still some ink. Like it didn't fully sub right here for some reason, right? So we see it right over here. It's still kind of dark. I'm going to show you something on the print. Because it's such my A sub looks blurry. Exactly. Because it's such a high release paper, even though I'm going to show it again, I don't know what happened, but you can clearly see, if you look at all the other ones, even when it's a dark color, I'm going to show another one that's a dark color. This is a dark red. It looked like it's out. The color came out. For some reason on this one, that purple is still very dark in those areas. Can you guys see that? Can we agree that on this purple one, on the dark side, there is still a significant amount of ink? It appears to be a significant amount of ink on the paper. Can we agree to that? Or am I the only one losing my mind? Do you all see that there was some ink that was left behind? Let me know if you see that there's some ink left behind. Yes, I agree. Okay, the Kimberlys are commenting back to back. So I'm going to show you that one first. Can you tell on this that some ink was left behind? Can you tell that ink was left behind when you're looking at the final subbed piece? I love it when God works it out and he gives me examples where you can say, like, this is live, this is not edited, this is no cap. Even though all of the ink on the paper appeared to not transfer, did we not still get an amazing sublimation print? You can't tell on the final one where that void of color was, where that ink did not fully transfer. You can't tell on here, right or wrong. Can you tell where it didn't transfer? That is the power of Honestly Speaking sublimation paper. If you would like to elevate your game, just try it out. It doesn't hurt you to at least try it out and see if it's going to work for you. If you're going to get the same results with your heat press and your substrates. You waste money on other papers and probably had a bunch of issues. Not going to hurt you. You can also get a sample pack directly from our home location. But here, TikTok does offer you coupons and things on whether it's free shipping or percentages off. So here is that red. I'm going to hold it back so both platforms can see. So here is that red. Look at that green. So it is possible to get those bright greens. It's not impossible to get those bright greens. It has to be designed correctly. It has to be designed correctly to get, and you can see the differences between this green and this green. They're not the same, two different colors. So you are able, this is almost like that that y'all can't get, the Eagles green. But you are able to get it. It just has to be the right color code. Look at the gray when it comes to a non-dye-based printer. You're able to get grays. This is going to tell you really how your printer outputs getting these Skittle packages. And then this right here, I want you guys to see. No color loss. This side was off the heat press. This side was on the heat press. And this side was repressed again. So when you have, so what this demonstrates is when you have larger than press projects that are really, really long and you have to overlap with certain papers, when you overlap, you can tell where that overlap is because some of the color comes out of it. With ours, it does not because you're not over sublimating it. You're not, so wherever that overlap was, you already did 400 degrees for 60 seconds. So when you move it and you overlap it, it's like pressing that section at 400 degrees for 120 seconds. So the sublimation ink is going to start to come, it's going to gas out of it. So this was this side over here off the heat press, because this was over here. This was on the heat press. Do you see any change in the black or the orange? So our paper is great for doing larger than press designs so that you don't lose color. I'm going to show you one more item that was a larger than press, and you're going to see that there is no color loss. No color loss. This all over shirt was pressed. It's 3 sections. So there was overlap in multiple sections because we had to press it 6 different times. Okay. You have to press this 6 different times. This is pieced together in 3 areas. Can you tell where it's pieced together at? I'm going to hold it down for y'all over here. I'll even hold it up. Can you tell where the 3 sections are? This was done with the roll paper. Where those 3 sections are. Ooh, I see a photographer. Sublimation is so great for photographers. It is a great way to give your customers almost like, even if you don't really do a lot of touch up, you get those photo panels. It's really, really inexpensive when it comes to some of these photo panels. I have some that are metal. There's acrylic, there's glass that you can put it to. Being able to offer your customers these, like just not just a photo album, things that they can display. Sublimation is great for that. If you are a photographer and you have not included sublimation in your offerings, definitely consider it. You're able to give them prints faster without, without all the touch up and then having to wait for all the prints to be done and all. I'm telling you, sublimation is great for photographers. I'm actually working with a photographer for us to put together kind of a course or like a seminar that's going to be great for photographers and how sublimation can benefit you. All right, so it is pieced together right at the top of Mike's head. So hold on. So you can see it there. And then in between the word university. So in between university and in between like a line right there across Mike's. But there's no color loss. You'll never be able to, like, you have to get up on it to see the line of demarcation, but you'll never be able to tell based off of color loss from overlapping the prints. If you could only get ink or paper, which would you suggest to start with? Paper. The paper is the shining star. Doesn't matter which ink you're using. The paper is what's going to give you those super vibrant results at 365 degrees, 30 seconds, no butcher paper. So definitely get the paper first. All right, so we're wrapping up here. Let's see. You can Google it, but those who took my sublimation seminar, it was given to them. But you can Google all of those. I just had to do a whole lot of Googling and cropping and all that stuff. But if you took my sublimation seminar, you got that for free. Ordered my roll. We definitely subbed the rainbow. Honestly speaking, paper always gives full release on the ink. Looks solid. Exactly. It's just polyester. It's just polyester. The sash is just 100% polyester. All right. So I thank you guys so very much. If you are watching on this particular platform, don't forget about this. Okay. Over here, you can use TikTok coupons. If you cannot find a TikTok coupon, I want to show you guys this black tumbler. Oh, that's what it was. I'm not sure if she's still on. Somebody made a question about the seams on tumblers. I'll talk about that. So let's turn the shop off. But look, this is a black tumbler. A black tumbler. The sticker is there to show where the seam is. That's how I remember where my seam is, from right here. Okay, that's where the seam is, using our ink and paper. It was done. Now this was printed on premium matte because on a tumbler you need a little bit more saturation. So this was printed with premium matte to get the full black. The plain paper, it'll be kind of grayish. So this one, I can't tell. One of these is, okay, so depending on how much black it is, this right here was plain paper and it's still black. But if it's a lot of black, you need to use, now this is plain paper. This one's plain paper. There's another one that is premium matte, but this one was plain paper setting. All right. Fins win. 23% promos. Fins win. Who? Any of my football fans in here? Thank you. Your live is more informative than others. Yep, that's how it's always been with me. Thank you so much for recognizing that and for giving that feedback. I live for this. I live to teach people about sublimation and how it can be beneficial for you and how to get the best results. Of course, starting with all of our products and then just giving the notification. pH, all together. pH and then all together. All right. Oh, you guys probably want to see it over here. So I'm going to close out. Someone asked about tumblers. I'm going to turn off the shop right now, guys, so I can just talk about, actually, I think I can leave it on. So I'm going to just go up here to the tape. This is one of the key things to me getting flawless tumblers, top and bottom. It's the process. It's not having a lot of extra paper. And I use our half inch, no, not half inch, our 1 inch tape, which ready to go. So I use our 2-inch tape and our 1 inch tape, which I don't know where I put it at. Oh, it fell on the floor. As well as blue painter's tape. And this is all that I use. 1 inch tape, 5 pieces on the seam. So here we go. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 pieces. I go down the seam with the blue tape around the tops and bottoms. Do not touch the inside of the tumbler or the bottom of the tumbler. That's just to keep that nice and sealed. And then I use the heat tape. I like to do it this way because sometimes your heat tape can ripple and wrinkle, and that creates an air pocket, and that can lead to the ghosting. So this is how I wrap mine. I don't put, some people will do this and then they put shrink wrap over it. This is all that I do. This is it. 5 pieces, inexpensive tape, 2-inch heat tape around the tops and bottoms. I personally use an oven. I put it open side down, or if you can't sit yours up, open side to the back. I use 350 degrees for 4 minutes. For darker colors, lighter colors, I do 3 minutes. If you're using a convection oven or an air fryer, you may have to do 365 or 375. I personally do not preheat, so I leave mine in there for 5.5 minutes, 6 minutes sometimes, because I don't preheat my convection or my air fryer. I put it in there cold. I throw it in there. As it's heating up, it's starting to sublimate. It does not burn. I do not rotate, but that's with my size convection oven. If yours is really small, you may need to rotate if your heating element is sitting too close to your tumbler. For me, for the size convection oven and my regular oven, yes, I use my regular house oven that's attached to my stove, my range. I typically use those, especially when I have a lot of orders. I will use that, and I can fit 15 in there at a time. I put them down. I get all 15 done in about 4 minutes. Sometimes I'll go 4.5 or 5, just to make sure it circulates. It takes a really long time for our paper to burn because all that ink is just coming off. It will take a lot for this to burn. The heat really needs to be on it for it to burn, because I left them in there for a little bit and forgot about them, and it still came out perfect, okay? All right, so that's how. All right, I will definitely check it, D Photographer. I will definitely check the message just as soon as I get off. All right, so that's how you do that. So thank you guys so very much for joining me. If you are a football fan, always check for the Dolphins score, because we are a Dolphin fan. We are a Dolphin family. And so when they win, you win. All right, so always check back after a NFL game. When the Dolphins win, you win. All right. So I thank you guys again. My name is Shakia the Professor. Our company is HSINK365. Great way to remember the temperature for our paper. HSINK365. You can sublimate as fast as 365 degrees for pretty much all applications except where your ink is exposed. You don't need to have any butcher paper at all. Our ink does not bleed through the back. So where are those prints? Where are those ones that were printed or pressed already? I have no idea where they went. Oh, here's one. It doesn't bleed through the back. It doesn't bleed through the back. Oh, I forgot. This was a real test for me. I have an order to do. And this is one of the things that I always do, so I know if I have to adjust. So this was pressed. It doesn't bleed through the back at all. So whenever I am doing orders and they send me a file, I always do a test print. So So that's actually what this was for. This was actually for real order. So I need to actually test this before I leave the office tonight. I just test it for color accuracy. Well, so I can show them because they submitted the file. So I like for them just to see how the file looks that they submitted. So I am not quite there. It says 42 seconds. I'm actually at 350 degrees. You know what? I'm going to show you guys something. I'm going to take this down to 350 degrees. Like so. I'm going to let it get down. It says I can lower the platen, but I'm going to let it sit for a little minute. So that says 360. Hold on. Let's do this. I'm going to let this drop in heat. I'm going to let the temperature drop on this. Okay. So I'm nowhere near 365. I'm actually at 350. 350 is where I am at. I'm going to cover this side up. I'm going to let it stay for about 5 extra seconds. I really don't need it, but I'm going to let it stay for 5 extra seconds. 350 degrees. I've actually done demos where we use our paper at 325 degrees. For that, you do have to use 60 seconds. So if you have something that is very sensitive to higher heats, you can still use our paper and drop the heat. So for acrylic, I use 315. So for acrylic, I use 315. So you can go to lower temperatures and still get great results with our paper. Okay. It's still domed. It popped up. I can stick my finger underneath it. And there we go. 350, about 35 seconds. And there we go. I'm telling y'all, this paper is absolutely amazing. If you haven't tried it out, it doesn't hurt to try it. It's not going to hurt you. If anything, just get the 8.5 by 11. That's the least expensive one. Try it out, and you will be back for more. I can guarantee it. All right. So once again, thank you guys so very much. Until next time, have a great one. Continue to unlock your creativity and be incredible. Peace, guys. All right, let's see. That's over there. You guys don't forget, Fins win 23% off of 8.5 by 14 or 11 by 17 tacky paper. Fast dry or tacky. Impressive paper. The Raiders design really came out sharp and the Skittles blew my mind. What printer did you use? I personally use an Epson Workforce printer. I have the old school 7210s and 7720s. For EcoTanks, you would get the same results if you were using an 16600 or 16650. You're still going to get great release, great saturation and vibrancy with our paper, but your colors will be a little bit off when it comes to using EcoTank printers, such as the 15,000, 8550, 2800, 2400, 4700, all of those 4800. You're going to see a little bit of color shift, and it's not going to be as accurate with those. Awesome tips. We like to say incredible tips, but thank you. Glad that they were helpful for you. You are very welcome. Thank you for watching. Make sure that you guys also subscribe over here and turn your notification bell on. All right, y'all. Until next time, have a great one. Oh, whoa, it's 8:30. Did not realize that. Until next time, guys, have a great one. Peace.